We got the chapter. Got a new coffee mug. Let's get to it. Alright. Welcome back, guys, to another chapter of One Piece, chapter 1018, called Jinbei versus Who's Who. Wow, I really wonder what's gonna happen in this one, right? We get a silly cover request of OT bothering page 1 as he's trying to concentrate and read. Now, this chapter we get a great highlight, amazing highlight of Jinbei and of finally a good 1v1 chapter. We cut to the castle where everybody, the beast pirates are fighting the newly transformed beast pirates. So they're fighting amongst themselves, obviously. They're mentioning that, oh, it's this kid who ordered them to do it. She must have some sort of power. They start targeting Tama. They're trying to run away as best as possible, and thankfully Speed and Daifugu come to the rescue to save Tama, Nami, and Usopp as they're trying to run away on foot because they don't have the what's it called, the Komainu. I can't believe I forgot. But yeah. And then I was looking at the chapter, and like there was a moment when I was looking through the chapter, and I just said, "Wow, this chapter looks extremely well drawn. Everything looks great. The fighting, the lines. We really take for granted sometimes these manga chapters that are pushed out in a week." And then it just in one moment in the chapter, I just stopped it. I just had to just admire the how nicely it is. But okay, the Zeus pops up after they're running away, and he says, Nami, again asking, I believe, if I can still be your servant also, like they kind of are to Tama. And Nami says, no, you're not a servant. You can be a sidekick, which is a nice little level up from before, because before I feel like she would consider him like a servant, a prisoner. But now this kind of settles in the notion that Zeus is here to stay until further notice. CP0 is hearing over the intercoms like, oh, they're turning against us. There's this many people that we've lost already. So that we've lost 1,000, they've gained 1,000. And then they start calculating real quick their numbers. Boom, 16,000 versus 9,000. The numbers have definitely shifted in the alliances. Well, no, they haven't shifted yet, but they're slowly but surely shifting towards being in the alliance's favor. And the CP0 is like, none of this matters. We just have to take care of this one individual because of principle, and we can all assume it's who's who. Yes, we can all assume it's gonna be who's. Obviously, they're talking about who's who. They want to take care of who's who. They're mentioning, oh, the information he ran off with isn't that important. It's confidential, but it's not anything that puts anybody in danger in the government or anything that. If he blurts out, it doesn't matter. But the principle of him being able to get away from us is what matters. And they don't want that bad reputation. And now we jump to the juiciest part of the chapter. The main event. Jinbei versus Who's Who. We cut to this fight. And Jinbei versus Who's Who. They're fighting. And of course, they have to talk while they're fighting. Jinbei's asking, so you don't like Straw Hat? You have a grudge against him, and it's just like that Don Qingjiao hate where he hates Garp and he hates all his descendants because of how much he hates Garp. Because we get confirmation that Shanks stole the fruit, 100%. This man, oh my God, the theories. He stole the fruit, and because he stole the fruit and he gave it down. Passed down his straw hat that he was wearing at the time and the devil fruit to Luffy, I inherently also hate Luffy for no apparent reason. So there's that. And then he starts using his Fang pistol, and Jinbei notices, oh, that actually, like, my armament's not right now as strong, or like I haven't toughed it out. And it cuts him, and he starts dodging the attack. And what I love is that we see Who's Who attacking and his attack is going through the ground. And we see the other half now. We see the aftermath where passing the wall, his attacks are going through and attacking his own like teammates, these other peace pirates. And we see one guy lose an entire arm to his attack. That's we get some actual what's it called, casualties for his attack. Who's Who was mentioning, oh, so your armament's not strong enough to actually block those attacks, huh? I would assume that a Fang pistol's pretty like devastating and strong, but he's like, you're not good enough to actually block with just armament. And I'm surprised you were able to move so fast on land, considering you're a fishman and all. And Jinbei's face just darkens, like, excuse me, what did I just hear? That casual racism is not like, it's not allowed anymore. He was so dumbfounded, like, what did I just hear? And Who's Who apologized, like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, my bad. And he just blitzes. He's like, I wanted to ask you something, and he just blitzes him with armament Haki fangs. And Jinbei's a boss. Okay, so he looks like he tanks it, he blocks it, and then he grabs his fangs and just shoulder tosses him around. Like, I really like Jinbei's durability feats in this one, in this chapter, with all he did towards the end. So he tosses the heck out of Jinbei. He tosses the heck out of Who's Who. And Who's Who just gets up and he's like, oh yeah. So what I wanted to ask was, while I was in prison, I heard of a legend of this person they would pray to called Sun God Nika. I don't know what that... I tried looking really quickly for something of that meaning, of what type of mythology that could be according to, but he's mentioning that this type of this person they were praying to would bring smiles to their faces and save them from, prison. So there it is. There's that notion of this person is gonna bring smiles to your face. The smile thing again, the D clan again. There's a lot of theories with that. And people are saying, oh, it could be Joyboy. They're praying to Joyboy. They're praying to this mythology. And he's mentioning you were a member of the a member of the Fish Pirates, the Sun God Pirates. You led the Sun God Pirates. So, and then this notion is this figure. In my head, there's this figure of sun and smiles, and everybody has this tattoo on them. The Skypians, the Sun God Pirates, they have that figure. The moonlight also, but the moonlight is just a reflection of the sunlight. So there's something that was passed down through those generations, of this figure of the sun god, like that sun symbol. Something must have been told through story, through generations, where that is relevant. And I feel like we might know something in Elbaf, because they live so much longer that they could actually properly tell down the correct story through generations, because they can live upwards of 100 plus years, whereas humans have a shorter lifespan. So that's what I'm gonna take, is the true history might be hidden in Elbaf, another another place, island that was not touched by the world government. And then Jinbei was saying, you were all slaves. What's Fishman history without the initial slavery? And Jinbei, his face just darkens. Just how can you continue to give me that? I gave you one chance to just ignore that. And Who's Who just not immediately, but he was making fun of him, and he just starts jabbing at him, poking at him, quite literally, with his fingertips, armament Haki his fingertips. And Jinbei just looks like he's just had enough, and he just armament Hakis up his entire body. I want to say his entire body, right? He armament Hakis up his entire body. Okay. And Jinbei and Who's giving him like another talk. He's like saying, oh, that person that told me that information disappeared a few days later, so I was in danger. I felt like I was in danger. Knowing that information, it put me in danger, so I did everything I could to escape, and here I am now. So tell me everything you know. And Jinbei just armament Hakis up so like hard that Who's Who finger actually bends, And Jinbei loses it here. He's like, I've had enough of this. I won't tell you anything. And he just holds him. He holds his hands, his wrist, so he can't keep attacking. And then who does a cheap attack. I think he knees upwards or he like kicks really quickly. Jinbei tanks it like a beast. And then he does, well, I know you can't tolerate this attack. And then he fang pistols in front of his face, and Jinbei just tanks the heck out of it like a beast. Their ability feeds went up through the roof. I think this might actually be an immediate Haki bloom almost. And who sees that he tanks it, he's like, oh, I messed up. I better get out of here. And Jinbei just steps on his tail, can't escape, and he says, I'm done talking to you. And just, I assume is one of his strongest attacks, demon brick fists right in his face. And I want to say who's down. Like, he's out. Maybe he recovers, but there's no way he can continue fighting. Like, the attack, the drawing, beautiful art is incredible. And then that's the end of the chapter. And then we have a break next week, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's the end of the chapter. But man, I'm super excited. I hope that other Straw Hats get this type of treatment for their fights. I want to see Frankie get his armament Haki bloom, hopefully versus Sasaki, so he can break through his defense. I want to see the Robin versus Black Maria fight. I want to see, hopefully, some other Straw Hats get this treatment and get some good fight chapters in there. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.